Make sure I'm connected here. All right, let's go. All right. What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. This is going to be a Knicks weekly recap. Knicks currently 9-7, second in the Atlantic Division, and they go 2-1 for the week, right? By beating Phoenix Suns, by also beating sorry, LV just went through a break. Of course, beating the Brooklyn Nets and losing to the Utah Jazz, beating Washington Wizards, excuse me, and losing to the Utah Jazz last night, 121-106. Tough week, right? Different emotions, but I wanted to do this show, quick hitter today, just to kind of go through everything, right? To not jump off the cliff, because everyone's ready to jump off the cliff. Like, let's be honest. Everyone is ready to say it's over. Everyone's ready to say, LV, I don't know, man. It's a wrap. Everyone's ready to do that. Everyone's ready to do that. And we got to kind of fall back, man. We got to kind of relax and kind of say, okay, exactly what are we as a team, right? See, LV got the black hoodie on, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's rugged out here. Everyone's feeling they're ready to bounce on the team and give up. Everybody's saying the Knicks stink with this, with that. We have no defense, which we don't. But it's still early, guys. We are still 9-7. If we were 2-12, I would be, worried, extremely worried. So this is a show to have a little optimism, right? Let's be optimistic. Let's be positive. Let's not think the worst. We are still one of the best offensive teams in the league. Now, defensively, not so well, right? This week was kind of weird, right? We put up a lot of offensive numbers, played really, really well. We had that streak where we scored back-to-back 130-point games. First time that was done since 1988. Then we also had that streak of 3 straight games of over 30 assists. First time that was done since 1994. So we had a great week. But if you see right there, you look at the screen there, you see, right, we're still second in offensive rating, still 21st in defensive rating, 8th in net rating. But look at that, second still in field goal percentage, and third still in offensive percentage, in three-point rating percentage, So there's still a lot of promise here, right? We can't automatically just say it's over, right? Everything is over, LV. We stunk. We should have beat a team that we should have lost to last night. And I get it, man. I get it. But we got to take a step back. It happens. It happens to the best of them. We knew there was still a lot of going to see. I got my son's car right here, man. He's just on my desk. He's all of my stuff. I can't. Elvis just realizes this right here. But sorry, sidebar. But the reality of the situation is that we still have a lot of growing to do as a team. There's still a lot of things that we have to get better with, especially on the defensive end, right? The offensive we have covered. But I think that's the importance of getting back, some reinforcements. Of course, Mitch coming back. Knicks 100 GM, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. So, getting Mitch back, getting Preston Chua back. And, guys, you got to understand, this is what? How many games then have we missed of Deuce? I think Deuce has missed the last 4 games, right? That's the number, 3 or 4. So, getting him back is important. He's our point of attack defender coming off the bench, as well as, our offensive punch coming off the bench also, too. And just giving us that defensive intensity at the point of attack. Then, of course, also too, you have Preston Chua, right? That's really, really well outside on the wings and on the interior to give some help to Cat. Then, of course, the addition of Mitch, right? So we have some reinforcements coming. Now, is that totally going to make us top 5 in league defensively? No. But I do think we'll be better than 21st. The number that I want us to get to, honestly, to where I think we'll be good is anywhere between 1 to 15, in that range. If we can get to 12 or 13, I think we'll be solid, man. I think we really will. So, the most important thing for me is, how do we fix things on the defensive end? How do we bring the intensity every night? How do we not get caught up in what a team's record is or the name in front of a team's jersey? Right? And not read and staying away from our clippings that we're reading. Because trust me, we know how good we are offensively. And sometimes with that, you tend to say, okay, you know what? I could turn it on and turn it off when I want to, because we are so good offensively. And I think that's the danger with, being offensive. Defensive, it takes a mentality. If you want to be, a really, really defensive shutdown team, it takes a certain mentality to do that. You got to be a certain type of player to really come in and really give that intensity to where, you can say, all right, I'm shutting this guy down. He's not scoring. Right? So how do you do that? How? It takes an attitude, right? It's an attitude with defense. It's an energy thing. It's a want to, right? And I think what's happened is guys have gotten lulled into the whole offensive piece of playing offense. That at times in the game, I don't say all the time, but at times they go through this, this space of not really want to give top tier effort on defense. And that's why I think it's important for the bench guys, because, you have guys that campaign that come on, Deuce, and all those guys that kind of, light a fire underneath these guys, to really get these guys going. Because sometimes, these guys do walk in here like, we're one of the best teams in the league already, and they haven't won anything yet. They haven't. And so we have to really want to do well on defense. We have to want to. We have to want to, rotate well and be there for each other and make sure our man doesn't beat us, talk out there a lot more. But let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. We knew our defense was going to take a hit with the loss of iHeart. With the loss of iHeart and with the loss of Dante, we knew our defense was going to take a hit. And also, too, Mitch being down for some time, that was going to have an impact also. So we weren't going to be, that defensive stalwart that we were last year. We just weren't going to be. You see iHeart already coming back. He's making a huge impact out there in OKC. Right? So, yes, he's not the player that Cat is. He's not. But defensively, he's a different type of beast, right? So you got to ask yourself, am I willing to give to get? Right? So in a perfect world, right, we would have loved to kept iHeart, kept Mitch, brought in Cat, traded Randall, and kept Dante, right? In a perfect world, that'd have been great. It doesn't happen like that, people. And you got to give to get. And I think that that's what happened when the Knicks. You got to think 4 major moves were made, guys. We lost Mitch because of course, injury, iHeart because of the trade stuff, Dante and Randall, right? So with those things, that really impacted, right, what we were trying to do defensively, our identity. It did. It really impacted that. So it's taken a while, and it's kind of hard to kind of get back to things. And we were hoping that with the addition of, the so-proclaimed Wingstop, right, with these guys and OG Anunoby and, of course, Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart being solid enough on defense, that we will be good. But, Mikal Bridges has kind of been a shell of himself defensively. And I think OG Anunoby has been amazing, but he can't guard everybody. So we knew who Cat was defensively. We definitely know who Brunson is defensively. So you're taking a hit there. You are. And so that, to me, is the biggest problem. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything else. That's the biggest problem. You could say with the injuries and And of course, no, Bridges maybe not shooting well. That's not the problem, because that, even with his shot not falling at times, that doesn't really impact us offensively. You see the offensive ratings. You see that. So I don't think that's really the issue. The issue is, how are we going to be able to impact things on that other side of the floor? But with that being said, guys, we're still 9-7. So it's not like we stink, right? We won 4 in a row. We lost a tough one last night. And I really think last night's loss, I don't even think it was so much. I think it's a mentality thing. I don't think we came in ready to go at all. And I think that that's what happened. We got caught slipping, basically, right? And I thought that we went into that game thinking that, okay, this is easy work. They're tanking, so we can get them out of here. Big Task, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Next weekly recap. Whereas when we went into Phoenix and when we played the Wizards, and of course Brooklyn last week, we didn't play no games. Like we knew what we wanted to do, and we took care of business. We didn't play around. And to me, Brooklyn is the same team as Utah. They're the same. They got offensive weapons. They could do certain things. But we went into that with a different mentality. We went into this last night like just not really focused on that. And I think that that's basically why, last night happened the way it did. We weren't focused. And so with that, that's why you had an outcome like you did last night. Right? Because you're going to have, listen, guys, you're going to have off shooting nights. And I thought that's what last night felt like. Last night felt eerily similar to the Cleveland game. Right? Offensively, we just didn't have it. And both teams didn't really shoot the ball that well that night. Because remember, what really happened is the Knicks were up, but Garland got hot. And that's really what tipped the scale in the fourth quarter, right? So we should have beat Cleveland. We were up on them by 13. This actually probably was a little worse than that offensively, because we couldn't throw the ball on the river last night if we wanted to. I went through the stats last night. We shot 30% from field goal percentage, and I think 30% from three. It was just a terrible shooting night. We shot like 51 3-pointers too, right? So when you have a night like that, how are you able to like pull out those victories when it's a tough night? Because you're going to have tough nights in this league. You are. So are you able to really kind of find out, how you're going to pull out those wins, man? Right? So that's what I think they're still trying to figure out. Like, I think they are. And I don't think it's something where it's like you just turn on a switch. It's going to take time, meaning that they're still growing with each other. And Tibbs is still learning a lot about this team, who he can trust, who he can't trust. So I think that that's kind of like what they're facing right now. It's going to be tough. Big test first the Giants, now Dante. Yeah, I just got done watching that game, man. It's Tank City, man. It's Tank City for the Giants. Which believe it or not, I am happy with. I'm happy with the tank for the Giants. I am. We need a quarterback. That's it. I don't think the Giants are bad. I don't think they were a bad team. Andrew Thomas, of course, went down, but I thought the line was pretty solid this year. Jones had a lot of time to throw. He just made bad decisions, man. Bad decisions. Right? So I don't think you saw a team that was motivated today. They understand what it is. That's why you put DeVito in there. DeVito, this is all about tank, man. Because they want to get their quarterback. That's it. They released Daniel Jones, so it's all tanking towards either getting Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. That's the focus. Yorkie, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Next weekly recap. Knicks 100 GM said they had all the mismatches, LV. No, they did. They did. I mean, it's a lot of size out there, man. A lot of size that they had, right? So, but I think it was still a game we should have won. I didn't think. I think we came in with a different mentality. I think we would have had that game easy. That's just my opinion. I don't think it was too, you know. Knicks 100 James said that's just how it goes sometimes. Agreed. Collins was destroying Hart. Yeah, man. He's big, man. He's big. Josh Hart was having a hard time dealing with that size. Pause. Right. So he had a hard time with that, and I think that's where you got to make a decision. Like, where do I go to from here? Because marketing was getting busy, man. He's big. He's about 6'11". Kessler is 7 feet, and like I said, I think Collins is about 6'9", 6'10". So, you got to match up with that, and I think that Tibbs leaned into the other dynamic of, all right, well, we can get the best of him offensively. And guys, also too, remember, I thought we had a lot of great looks last night. I don't think it was the looks. I thought those were shots we've been knocking down all season, but we weren't knocking it down. But that's the key, guys, because the last couple of games we've been great offensively. But what happens when you're not shooting well, man? What happens? What do you do? How far do you dig? You got to dig deep to figure out, okay, how do we pull out a win? Because it's all about getting W's, right? And so how do you go about doing that? How? And so I think that's where they're still learning about each other, right? About those pulling out those wins when you kind of feel like you can't or you don't have it going offensively. It's still trying to figure that out. Big Chad says, yes, me too, man. Everything is going according to plan. Agreed, man. Agreed. I'm telling you, that's what I want. Tank season. Rondo, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. It's LV Live's weekly recap show, man. Yokel says these players got no dog. They're missing a true leader like Draymond Green. You know what? What's ill? I think they do, man. I think Brunson is definitely the leader of the team. I just think he's not as vocal and as explosive. I'll use the word that I'll use in regards to Draymond. Draymond can be very, 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 very like demonstrative. You know what I mean? Like, he's up in there punching dudes in practice. Like, you can't do that today. This is a different time. Now, he could have got away with that in the 80s and 90s. Excuse me, but he can't do that now, man. Not with these players. You know what's funny? I heard Rasheed Wallace talk about Draymond. He said they made him that way. Because remember, Draymond's from Michigan. Saginaw, to be exact. They call it Sag Nasty out there. He's from Saginaw, Michigan. So, based on Rasheed Wallace's story, is that Draymond used to be in the locker room and hanging out with the Pistons during that time when they was winning. When he was there with, of course, Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups and the crew when they was winning championships. He said Draymond was around them during that time. So he said all the stuff that Draymond is doing, he learned from them. He learned from Sheed and the whole crew. So that's the inside story with Draymond. So, you see him now, man. He's just doing. He's like Embiid, tripping people and falling on people's ankles, like, man. He's out of control with that stuff. So, I think Brunson is the leader, man. He's just not as explosive. I'll say it again. As Draymond Green. Draymond's a problem, man. He's not for everybody. So I think he would have a really, really hard time in this locker room. I could see him in like Josh Hart getting into a lot of fights. I could see that happening. Because Josh Hart ain't gonna back down from him, man. And if he try to sucker punch Josh Hart like he did Poole, that's not gonna go over too well. At all. Knicks 100 GM said, I hate the idea of a tank, let alone actually doing it. Listen, man, everyone does it. Knicks 100 GM, everyone does it, man. The rumor is Dante's doing that. Dante's doing that in Minnesota. And the rumor is that Zion was doing it in New Orleans. And then he cut off CAA because he got mad because they didn't bring him to New York. So he said, I did all this for nothing, pulling hamstrings, eating cupcakes, getting to be about 300 pounds. None of that worked. And I'm trying to get to the big city, man. I'm trying to get out of here. Louisiana and the Bayou Bengals down here. All this football stuff. I'm trying to get out of here, man. So now he cut CAA off. So everybody's tanking. Everybody's doing it. That's funny. Big Tess says, but which QB should they get, LV? That's a breakdown for a different show. But Westchester Lester, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live, man. Good to see you again, sir. This is a weekly recap of the Knicks going 2-1 this week, 9-7 overall, second in the Atlantic Division. Big game tomorrow night in Mile High City against Denver, 9 p.m. on MSG. Yeah, man. If I had to pick right now, I think I'm going to go with Cam Ward. And the reason why I would go with Cam Ward is because I think he's ready. I think he's had situations that he can adjust to. All Shedeur is known as playing with his dad, right? So how does he deal with hearing from a different voice than his dad? His dad's not going to be the head coach. So how is he going to deal with that? That's a different monster to navigate. When you got your dad behind the scenes letting you run the show, right? You know what I'm saying? Or getting everything to put in your place perfectly for things to be successful for you. It's daddy ball on steroids. If anybody knows what that is, that's what that is in Colorado. So how is he going to do coming to a place where his dad does not have his fingerprints on things? That's what worries me about him. Outside of the skill set, which is off the charts, that's what worries me about him. See, you got that, LV, man. Quick 5 minutes. Yeah, and Kessler was throwing everything last night. You know what? Next to 100 GM, you're absolutely right. But Mitch shuts all that down. If Mitch was there, that all gets shut down. Period. He won't be doing all that with Mitch, because Mitch will be bumping him and pushing him out the way, and getting offensive boards and stuff like that. Next to 100 GM says Hart's gonna be at Green looking like Martin like after hitting me head. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I remember that was a funny episode. Yeah. Josh Hart not gonna allow that, man. He's not gonna allow that. That's why that wouldn't work if that was to ever happen or come here. That wouldn't happen with us. Westchester Lester, right? Knicks don't have a vocal leader like Draymond to get the team to play better. You know what's ill, man? I don't think that's what's needed here, man. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that at all. Because they played great last year. I think it's just an adjustment, Lester. I think it's just an adjustment to kind of get the team, together, right? To where they're able to kind of have the same energy on defense as well as offense. But that a lot has to do a lot of times with your personnel. So it's an adjustment, man. And not just for them, but for the coach too. Tibbs has got to adjust to what he has. And I thought there was some adjustments he could have made last night. Because if you realize Kessler and them guys is killing you on the inside, you might have to go two bigs, right? But he's not willing to do that, right? So I'm just saying, I think it's on both ends, right? So I don't think a Draymond guy would come in here. That would cause a lot of problems in that locker room, man. A lot of problems. He's not everybody's cup of tea. He's just not. He can get away with that in Golden State because they've won, right? But if they weren't winning and he up in there hooking off on dudes in the locker room, it would be a problem, man. It'll be a problem. Big Taz, Josh Hart would have put the beats on Draymond. Yeah, man. That'll be a problem in that locker room, man. That'll be a problem. They'll be up in there fighting, man. He can get away with that with certain dudes. And he knows that. And certain cats, he wouldn't be able to do that to. Right? Just like, I'll give you a perfect example. You think Embiid could have pulled on Randall's ankle like that and it wouldn't have been a problem? Randall would have been up in there ready to fight, man. Randall ain't no punk. You think Embiid could have did that to like Kevin Garnett? Nah, that wouldn't have happened. It would have been a straight fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So guys know who they can and they can't do that to. So, you know, I once again, I just don't think his personality would have did well in this locker room. I think he's a good player, meaning, his intangibles, but all that stuff that he brings, you know what I mean? He can be a lightning rod, which is not good. Lester says DiVincenzo and Hartenstein are really tough, underrated players. They lost all of us. Yeah, agreed. I said that earlier. Losing, we switched our identity, right? And when you switch your identity like that, it takes some time to readjust to what that new identity is, right, for your team, right? So losing iHeart and losing Dante, of course, also to not having Mitch, right? It changes things. It does. And as inefficient as Randall is offensively, right? Like he's got his issues. He brings a physicality to that position, right? That a lot of people don't want to deal with, right? A lot of bumping, pushing. He plays bully ball. A lot of guys don't want to deal with that, man. So you got him, you got iHeart, you got Mitch, you got a bunch of bullies, and then you got Dante being a pit bull at the top of the key. He's slapping you, he's pushing you, he's doing all type of stuff to get you off your game. Those four guys brought the type of intensity and defensive that allowed Brunson to do him. But the problem is that we hit our ceiling with that defensively because offensively we just weren't good enough. We just weren't. And so you got to give to get. So the Knicks are hoping that with the addition of Mitch and Precious, and of course Deuce, that can have some sorts of that. Because remember, Knicks were top 10 in both last year, right? So offensive and defensive rating, right? So I don't think they get top 10 in defensive rating this year, but I do think that I can see them anywhere between top 15. I can see that they get anywhere better than what they are now. We'll be good to go. Knicks 100 James says Spurs don't have a tough guy either, man, when they destroy LeBron and the Heat. Agreed. Knicks 100 James said we are fine. Brunson jumping in to trust that. All them dudes jumping in, man. They're not going to allow that. Lester says Draymond's an old now, of course. Josh Hart, yeah, man. Man. I just wouldn't be good. It just wouldn't be a good chemistry for the team. It just wouldn't be. Lester says Randall was more busy fighting his own teammates over certain. All right, I never seen Randall fight any opposing players. He would just walk away. I don't know, man. If Randall felt that someone was trying to injure him, and Randall doesn't strike me as the type of person that's going to walk. He's got too much fire in his belly, man. I don't think Randall's going to push over at all. But let me see here. Big Taz. LB, to be honest, right, the loss to the Jazz doesn't really bother me for some reason. You know what it is, Big Taz? Big Taz, I'll be honest with you. It doesn't really bother me either. The problem is it just doesn't look good, right? It's just a bad look, right? To lose to a team like that everyone knows is tanking for Cooper Flag. Like, that's the problem with this loss. It just doesn't look good. And the way they lost doesn't look good. So once again, right, everyone's going to jump out the window. Jump out the window and say, oh, this and that, and just think the worst. I'm not doing that, but everyone feels that way because they're hyperbolic. So I'm not hyperbolic. Like, I'm thinking down the line. I know defensively we're going to get better. But there is issues defensively. It is. But like I said last night, right? You're not all that bad and you're not all that good. Right now, you're somewhere in the middle and you're still trying to figure out which one are you, right? I still think they're top 3, top 4 team in the East. I don't think there's no better team out there. I think they're still going to make it to the conference finals. I think they're that good because I think they're going to figure it out. Coach, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live during this Knicks weekly recap show. So I think everybody's just kind of like just once again being hyperbolic and just thinking everything's the worst, man. Like so, LV, man, with this, with that, we're gonna, I'm like, yo, everybody chill out, man. Everybody need to chill out. It's just, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really bother me that much neither, right? Sometimes, and what's ill is this: we'll play good tomorrow, we'll probably win. And then everyone will be like, okay, we're good now. We'll be 10-7. Like it isn't. Once again, you're not that good and you're not that bad. Still got a big sample size. Like I said, I'm not really going to judge this team till January. Till January, I'm really going to kind of get an understanding of what we are and who we are. And I think we'll be fine. Knicks to 100 GM says, every loss we had was about the matchups. Yeah, listen, it is about the matchups, but I think also, too, Knicks 100 GM, I think a lot of it, believe it or not, is just guys coming with energy, man. Like there were games in the beginning, if you remember, when we lost to Atlanta and definitely to, who was it? To the Rockets. It was because these guys are playing too much. Tibbs wasn't playing anybody. He was only playing like 6 guys. Like, remember that? And it was like, kind of like, come on, Tibbs. And guys didn't have no gas to finish in the fourth, right? So now that's not the case here. They've won 4 in a row. You're seeing Tibbs use his lineup. So now it's just a matter of guys coming ready to play. Like, don't take guys for granted. I thought last night they strictly took the game for granted. Regardless, yes, they have bigs out there and matchups and all that stuff. Yes, but they're still they're a better team than Utah. Period. And I think that they just went in there and just was like, yeah, we're going to beat these bums because they tanking, so whatever. And Utah was like, nah, we're going to try to win this. And I think they caught the Knicks slipping. They caught them with a right hook, kind of like a fight. And that was it. Down goes Frazier. And that's what happened, man. Period. I don't think it's anything more than that. But that doesn't mean that we stink. That doesn't mean that we're going to lose every game. And a lot of people feel that way. And so that's why LV's doing a recap, man, to get everybody to chill. Cool out. Jeremy, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. New York Knicks weekly recap show. Coaches, who we play tomorrow? We got Denver. Denver, sir, in Miles City. That's what we got. See, LV got it right there for you, man. Look at that right there. Lester says, Tibbs needs to develop Akaporti at the 5. What is his issue with him? Our window isn't long from a salary cap standpoint, like re-signing Payne and Mikal. It might be tight, so Knicks can't afford to play. Agreed. I like Akaporti, man. I do. I did a short on him about him possibly being the new iHeart, right? I think he does have that much upside. But what we can't deny is how much better Sims has looked. Like, we got to be honest. Like, Sims has been playing really, really, really well. So, yes, now, do you feel like he should try to play both of those guys, Sims and Akaporti? I don't know. Tibbs is not going to do that because you still got to give minutes for Big Cat, right? So it's going to be one or the other. But I do like Akaporti's upside, man. But he's also still young. How old is Akaporti, everybody? What is he, 21, 22? He's another young guy. So he's got time, man. He's got time to develop. Jeremy says Danny Ainge loves embarrassing the Knicks on all levels. Yeah, man. But you know what it is? We embarrassed ourselves, man. We embarrassed ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So, That's what I think about that last night. I don't even think it was so much them. I think it was more us than them. They've proven who they are, man. Their record has proven that. Ha! Look at this. Say what, LV? I ain't hear you. Sims is playing better, man. You got to give it to him. And here's the other thing too, guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I respect Tibbs for that. You know why? Because Sims has kind of been there for the longest. So he's going to give the edge to Sims over anybody else. So Sims is playing better, man. He's earned it. He's earned the right to get a shot to play better. And he has. Jeremy said the Knicks up-and-coming schedule is brutal, starting with Denver tomorrow night. Yeah, they got Denver. I think they're fine. Let me see the schedule real quick. I would have had it up, man. I apologize. LV slacking, man. I think we're good. Because after this road trip, we're going to be home for a lot of these games. So I think we're good. We got LV's looking it up right now, man. This thing's taking forever. Apologize. I know we got Dallas. Let's see here and pull a schedule up really, really fast, guys. Sorry, it's a lot of delays, man. I apologize. BQ from BK, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. We got the Nuggets, right? And then right after the Nuggets, we got Denver. Then we got Charlotte. No, I'm bugging. This is Denver. Dallas. We got Dallas right after that, right? Then after we got Dallas, then we got the Hornets. And then after that, we're home, man. We got the Pelicans, we got Orlando, we got Charlotte, and we got Detroit. And we got Toronto. So we got easy winnable games, man. So Dallas is going to be tough as if Luka comes back, which I believe he will. But after this, we're home for like 4 straight games. We got the Pelicans, Orlando, Charlotte, and Detroit. So we should win at least 3 out of those 4. So we'll be fine. Then right after that, we got Toronto, Minnesota, New Orleans, and then Toronto. So that's another 3 out of 4 we should win. Right? So the schedule is going to be okay. The schedule is going to be fine, actually, coming up. Lester says Cat should play the 4 because it's his rim protection. Right. Yeah, his rim protection is not good. Nah, but he see that 5, man. He's dominant at that, man, Lester. So you can't take him from there. You can't. Jeremy says Tibbs should play Akaporte over Sims. I don't know, man. Sims has been playing good, man. Sims has been playing good. I don't want to take that from him. I don't want to take that from him, man. He's been playing good, man. You got to give it to him. I like Akaporte's upside, but Sims has been playing better, man. And you're going to lean in a guy who's you trust and you know, right? So, New Lord, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. But I appreciate you coming through rocking with me and my crew, New Lord. Hope all is well, sir. Lester says, let Sims play the 5 and Cat the 4. No way. The reason why, Lester, you don't do that is because your Cat's been destroying Cats at the 5. You see his numbers, man? He's up there as probably like top. Right now, he's first team All-NBA. Wesley Robinson, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. New York Knicks weekly recap. Knicks go 2-1 this week, 9-7 overall, second in Atlantic Division. Wesley says, I'm checking in from Strong Island. Bad loss last night, but we're still in third place in sticks, a fork in Philly. They are done with those injuries prone to in PG and NBA. Yeah, they're finished, man. They washed up. It's a circus over there, man. It's a circus out there in Philly, man. But I'm not surprised, though. I'm not surprised that it's a circus. Coach says, I just want Cat to get some minutes at power forward. You know what it is, Coach? I think he will, man. He will. Soon as Mitch come back, he will. But Coach, man, he's been so dominant at that 5, man. It's hard to take him out. It's hard to take him out. Now, if you want to bring in Precious, because then you can have Precious play the 5 and let Towns still play the 5 on offense, but let Precious play the 5 on defense. You could do something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Precious is better than Sims. Because Precious can at least maybe step out and hit a 3 or 2 or kind of play on a perimeter. And he's got the size to still bang in that Baja. But I love Cat at that 5, Coach. I love him at that 5. Coach says, I still have hope for Bridges. Yeah, Bridges will be fine, man. Bridges will be fine. I'm not too worried about Bridges like that, man. I think he'll be fine. New Lord said Cat needs to be dominant, right? He needs to be demoted, from center position on defense. I agree. It's a layup line on many nights when he's in there. That's a great point, man. You know, you're gonna give, you got to give to get, right? And sometimes if you want this guy to do what he's doing offensively, and that was the point. That's the point of bringing it when they got Gobert in Minnesota, because they understood that. But he's so good offensively, man. How do you go away from that? So you got to give to get. But in certain points, similar to what Coach said, you got to try to see him at the 4 in certain spots in the game. So that's the importance of bringing Mitch back. Fantastic. Sorry, Sim stepped up, man. He should. Yeah, he has, man. You got to reward him. Coach says Bridges has never been elite at anything. Just has no real weaknesses. He's average at everything, and that's actually good in the NBA. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. He finished second in defensive player of the awards a couple of years ago. He was with Phoenix. He finished second. He's an elite defensive wing, man. He is. I just think that it's an adjustment, man. You know what I mean? Like, what I mean by that is your game's got to change, right, Coach? From going from when you're just a wing who's just playing defense and scoring in your pockets to saying, yo, come to Brooklyn and be a ball-dominant scorer. So something's going to go. So I think he's kind of forgotten or kind of gotten weaker in a sense on that wing defense. It takes a lot of energy to do that, right? So he's switching gears. And one thing he said in the press conference, one thing he said one time, I don't know if you guys heard him. He said, listen, man, getting Cat here and getting Cat so late, it was tough. It was a tough adjustment offensively in all aspects. So guys are still adjusting, and also too defensively as well. But I'm not too worried about him, man. He will be fine, right? He will be fine. Akaporte was a lottery talent before he sustained a major injury sideline for 18 months. Akaporte is 22 years old, almost considered a senior citizen considering the NBA draft. I didn't know about that with Akaporte. I didn't know that, Jeremy. Akaporte is good, man. He's really good. And I think he has more upside than Sims. But he is a rookie. Sims is playing better. And you kind of got to go with the guys that you trust, man. And that's what Tibbs is doing, man. I can't get mad at him for that. I can't, because look at it like this, right? If you're doing your job and you're doing a really good job and they bring in somebody new and say, yo, we just like him better, that's not fair to you because you still are doing your job. Sims is doing his job, man. He's playing a whole lot better. So you should be given carte blanche over the new Cat. You should be given that because you earned that. Sims has earned the respect to kind of get more playing time when he's playing better. Akaporte's got to prove it, man. He's got to prove it. New Lord said, I'd only trade Mikal for a better defensive player. Like, well, who's out there that's better? I don't know if there's anybody that's better, man, like him. Like who? Next to 100 James said, karma, LV. For what Embiid did to Ben Simmons, you don't ever throw your teammate under the bus. Yeah, man, agreed. Agreed. That was kind of foul. He did that. And Ben was struggling too, man. He was struggling with the whole mental health thing. We talked about that here. You know what I'm saying? He was struggling with that, man. And kind of Embiid did I think he did him dirty with that, man. I think he did him real dirty. You know what I'm saying? So, Coach Fitz, for what Bridges gets paid and what he does, what is the upgrade? Who's the upgrade for Bridges? Herb Jones? Herb Jones? Who you guys think? Jaden McDaniel? Who's the upgrade? Those guys are expensive, man. Expensive. Jaden McDaniel might get the same thing OG Anunoby's getting, man. Those guys are expensive, man. So I think you got Bridges on a good deal, a really good deal. BQ from BK. Did you see how Julius Randle refused to pass? Yeah, man, they got a lot of issues going on in Minnesota, man. But I'm not surprised, man. Randle's a lightning rod. He's kind of similar to Draymond. So, when Randle come there and he see how things is moving and shaking, he's going to be like, all right, y'all allowing this? And I'm going to do it then. So Randle he's doing what Randle does. So I'm not surprised by that. Big task. I like Mikal Bridges, man. He just had a bad night like everyone else. Agreed, man. I don't, that's what I'm saying, man. Everybody wants to destroy the team. Everybody wants to send him off. There's no easy fix to this, man. There's no easy fix. I think we'll be fine. Everybody just needs to calm down and chill. Like everybody wants to get rid of the team. They want to. If it was up to some of these guys, they would trade Cat, Brunson, and bring in Giannis. They would do that. They would trade Cat. Some guys would trade Cat and Bridges and bring back Dante. Some dudes would do that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't be thinking, man. Cat had 16 rebounds, right? He did. Cat's getting busy on the boards, man. Brooklyn Born, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with the LV Live. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, man. But I appreciate you coming through rocking with me and my crew, Brooklyn Born. Knicks 100 GM, look at that. Sometimes shots just not going to fall, man. That's basketball. Agreed. Yeah, he tore his Achilles. Yo, coach, who tore his Achilles? Oh, you talking about Hakaporte? They've already done good by how. Yeah, man. Listen, I think he's good, man. Listen, I think he's good. You got to give him time to kind of Oh, this Killer Dogs. I changed my name, fam. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Killer Dogs. What's going on, man? Brooklyn Born now. All right, say no more. I got you. Embiid is a terrible teammate and deserves nothing good. Yeah, man. He got issues, man. He got issues. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on with him, man. But the rumor out is that he changed when he got the bag. That's what they're saying about him. They're saying he changed when he got the bag. That's what happens, right? You get that bread. That's what happens, man. Everybody change up. They get brand new. They get new friends and all that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody start changing up. They start dressing different. They start moving different. They get money, man. Everybody act funny style. You see them in the street. You're like, yo, what up, man? They act like they don't know you. They give you the head nod. You're like, oh, my man, I get the head nod? Yo, my man, we go back to quarter waters and 25-cent ices, man. We ain't good no more. They get bread. They shake your head like, nah, we ain't on it like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. That's they said about Embiid. He got new bread out there in Philly. Now he acting funny style. You know what I mean? Young bull. Maxey had to put him to the side, like, yo, my man, what you doing? Stop coming to practice late. Being lazy. You know, eating triple cheeseburgers and all that. You know what I'm saying? Doing that Zion diet. Bugging out there in Philly. That's why, yo, that's why they having problems, man. I know Paul George wilding. I know Paul George like, yo, I should have never left the Clippers. That's a fact. He coming over here dealing with knee problems now. I know he like, yo, my man, I should have never came over here. It's cold. LA is hot. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful weather. Beautiful girls out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming out here freezing. I got Embiid. He's a joke. I got the young bull Maxey barking at dudes. Kyle Lowry's walking around here bow-legged looking like he's about to fall over. Got a bunch of old cats drumming looking like he still eat Philly cheesesteaks. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even coming to practice ready. Everybody on the team look like they over 40, man. I know Paul George is tight. Show, man. But here another one, right? Here another one. Check it out. He wanted to chase the bread. He wanted to chase the money. He should have just stayed out there in L.A. with Kawhi. He'd have been good. See? Knicks 100. I've been told you I Herb Jones for Mitch before we even got to this offseason. Yo, Herb Jones is tough, man. I like Herb Jones. But that's a lot to give up Mitch, man. Yo, Mitch, yo, you guys be dissing Mitch, man. Yo, Mitch is legit in that Baja, man. Legit in that Baja. Like, you got to respect Mitch, man. We need him back, man. Knicks 100 GM said, if we could add Herb Jones to what we have and elevate Hakaporte, we set. What you giving up for Herb Jones? You giving up Mitch? And you giving Hakaporte Mitch's minutes? Is that what you're doing? So what you doing with Sims? What you doing with your man Sims? You elevating Hakaporte? What you doing with Sims? You know, Tibbs is not playing everybody. So what are you doing with Sims? If you throw Mitch to the curb, you bring Herb Jones, right? Straight up, that's what you said. Elevate Hakaporte to what? To back up Big Cat? Okay, so what does that do for Sims? It's a numbers game. You know that. Tibbs is only playing 8 or 9. Sims is not playing over Precious. He's not playing over Herb Jones. He's not going to play over Josh Hart. He's not going to play over Deuce. So what are we going to do? You just did this and you destroyed your man's career. I see. Come on, man. You got it. Listen, got to keep it a buck here. We can't make everybody happy, man. Can't make everybody happy. Everybody can't be happy, man. They can't. That's the important part of learning how to build a team. It's really tough. It's not easy, man. It's really, really not. Here you go. I would trade Mitch right now for Herb Jones. The contracts match. New Lord says Mikal has yet to take over a game till he does. Knicks fan will complain he isn't doing enough. I said this yesterday, New Lord. Mikal is never going to be able to live up to those picks. Never. He's never going to be able to live up to them picks. I don't care how well he plays. He's got to play like Jordan or Kobe, man. Because for those picks, you go after and you get a guy like Giannis or LeBron or something like that. But it wasn't the pick. It wasn't that. It's just the Nets knew they could fleece him because they swindled the Knicks because they knew the Knicks really wanted him. So the Knicks did all that because they understood the piece that was going to come in. They didn't expect to move Dante. So that would have been perfect. So everything happened fast. I think it was a matter of a month or two. It just happened just like that. Boom, boom, boom. They realized Mitch wasn't coming back. They had to pivot. They had to make a crazy move. Once again, they got fleeced again. Yo, you want Big Cat? All right, cool. We'll take Randall, but we want Dante also. And they did that smiling while they did that because they knew the Knicks was going to fold. Right? So they folded. They made that deal. So now this is what we're left with. And I don't think it's bad. I think it's just a matter of getting adjusted. But it takes adjustment because I think they were planning building around Dante, I'm drew a brain fart, man. Dante, OG, and Bridges. Like, that's the thing. And of course, Deuce. That's what they were trying to build around. Then Mitch situation, it all changed everything, man. Now, look, you see, Minnesota didn't really want Dante. They're trying to trade him. Or that's allegedly what the talks are. So, you know, we still got to give it time, man. January is my cutoff. Coach, it's good news. We will never see Zion in the Knicks uniform yet, man. Yeah, this wouldn't have been a spot for Zion, man. I said that before, man. I like Zion, man, but Garvin Felix, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with the LV Live. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. But I appreciate you coming through, rocking with me and my crew, sir. Tough loss for them boys last night, man. Philly's a dumpster fire, man. Embiid is the dumpster juice. Agreed. Brooklyn Born says George got his last bad, though, right? His last bad. Yep. So he's good regardless. Now, agreed. You know what's ill, though? Brooklyn Born was ill as this. Yo, he could have got the bag. He could have got the bag with the Clippers, man. They was going to give him a bag. But these guys are greedy, man. They want it all. They want all the paper. My man, you got to give to get. So now you're over here dealing with this nonsense. For what? He's chasing the paper, man. You should. I would have saw the writing on the wall. But see, he figured that, you know, you come over here and be, but my man, he didn't do his research, man. I put it to you like that. He didn't do his research. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do his research. And grass is never greener on the other side, man. That's the old saying, but it's so true. Knicks Embiid was bugging down, right? A bird got practice on Twitter. Yeah, man, he wow, yo, listen, man, he be bugging out. He bugging out, man. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not surprised that all these things are happening. I'm just not. Brooklyn Boy says, what Mitch are we getting back, though? The money-making one or the stressed-out one right before he met his doom? You know what, Brooklyn Born? That's a good question. I think he's going to be good, and I think he's going to be better. You know why, Brooklyn Born? Because we don't really need him to play like 40 minutes. We don't need that from him. We just need him to come off the bench, give some minutes, and that's it. That's all we need. And give him, you know what I mean? Like and let him adjust slowly. And with the way Sims is playing, and even a guy like Akaporte, if you know Mitch is kind of off tonight, or you want to kind of give him a rest day, you can do that. But you can slowly bring him on. Of course, when Precious comes back and all those other things. So that's the thing, Brooklyn Born. We don't have to throw Mitch right in and say, yo, we need you to play 30 minutes. We can slowly bring him on. But also, too, Brooklyn Born, I don't know if you knew, but he's on a road trip with the team. So he's working out with the team. So he's actually getting into playing shape. Of course, game shape is different. But we ain't get Mitch coming back about 350 pounds like Embiid. We ain't bringing that back. You know what I'm saying? He's obviously working to get in better shape and be ready to go when they give that go button, right? So Jeremy says Jeremy Kane, man, has been phenomenal for Philadelphia. Rookie of the year. He's legit. But you know, he was legit coming out of high school, man. He was the goods. He from Cali. He's just wild boy, man. I don't know. He painting his nails and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on with that. Doing them TikTok videos, and it's a new generation, man. These kids is different, man. So, but outside of that, he get busy, man. He get busy out there. Knicks 100 Jam. The key is getting Bridges at point guard, PG Herbert at shooting guard. But listen, man, that's not going to happen, man. Herb Jones is a young, up-and-coming player. They're not going to want Mitch for Herb. They're not going to do that. He's a young player, man, and plays the wing. The wing is more expensive right now than the bigs. It's a wing-dominated league. And Herb Jones is that. You know what I'm saying? I trust me. I know how nice he is. So they're going to want top dollar. They're going to listen. He's going to get what's his contract? Bring it up, Knicks RGA, because if he ain't hit, he going to get probably what Jaden McDaniel got. That's how good he is. Coach says, I think he wants Sims, Jones, Deuce, Precious off the bench. Who's that? Tibbs? Look at him, Herb Jones, Deuce. I don't know, man. Knicks legit. Don't forget the Pelicans are playing Herb Jones at center this year. Listen, man, Herb Jones legit, but he's very expensive, man. Very expensive. Garvin Felix says, Bridges is not a superstar, right? He's just a good role player. Agreed. I totally agree. Hans, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, man. But I appreciate you coming through rocking with me and my crew, man, on the Knicks weekly recap show. Jeremy says Philadelphia will win in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. Nah, man. I don't think they're gonna be that bad. I think who's really shooting for it is like the Wizards and probably the Jazz are really trying to get him, man. I can see the Jazz getting him. That would be a perfect place for him too, man. Playing in Utah, that'd be perfect. They'll love him, man. He'll be like Larry Bird for him. New Lord said, you're right. Knicks gave up those picks for Mikal like it was Jason Tatum or something, right? He won't live up to those picks until he does. But, he's not going to live up to those picks, New Lord. Never. Never, man. He's never going to live up to that. Never. I don't care. Like you know what I mean? And the Knicks got fleeced for it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I'm not so hard on the guy, because I know what he is. I know what he brings. And I think he's playing really well. But I don't know what people thought when he came. I put it to like this. Everybody in here, right? And this kind of leads me into my player of the week, right? As good as he's playing, right? As good as he's playing, I don't think for 1 second at all that he's better than this guy. And this is why he got the bread that he got. Right? He's my player of the week. Look what he's doing. He's averaging 21.2 in these last 5 games. He's averaging 21.2 points a game. Right? 6.2 boards. Almost 2 steals a game. 1 block. Shooting 55% from the field and almost 40% from 3. I'm sorry it says free throws there. LV had technical difficulties. But he's been my player of the week. Nobody saw this offensive explosion. Nobody. On top of what he's doing on defense. Mikal's not better than this guy. He's not. So we know how good he is. We just got fleeced, man. We just got bullied into that. And the Knicks wanted to do what they wanted to do the deal because we knew we needed another wing. So just make it happen. And I think Mikal's been playing good. I think he's had bad moments, yeah, but he's playing bad because of what you guys expect. No one's paying attention to this guy and what he's doing. He's looking like an all-star. He's locking up defensively, and he's shooting the ball at a high clip. I don't know who thought that Mikal was better than him, because he's not. And everybody was complaining. Everybody. And listen, on this show, all my day ones, you admit, on this show, I said you guys are bugging. He deserves all the bread he's getting. You see what he's doing. This is why he was so expensive. Everybody's like, yo, you shouldn't pay him that much because he gets hurt. Yo, my man, everybody gets hurt, man. Yes, I get it. He's got he's high in injury. He's injury prone. I get it. But when he ain't injured, look what he's doing. You could put him on anybody, and he gives him problems. Giannis will get his, but he makes it hard for Giannis. He can guard a 5. He gave him B problems last year. He can guard a 3. He can guard a 2. He's always in the passing lane. And now he's knocking down threes at a high clip. You saw what he did last night. He had 27. He was the best player on the court. That's why he's getting what he's getting. Mikal ain't getting that. So I think a lot of times Knicks fans are losing, kind of like, all right, yo, look, we're, Mikal is this, Mikal. This guy's the best player, man. He's the one. And I think everybody needs to identify how well this guy's playing, man. Instead of worrying about Mikal. Mikal I think he's doing fine. And so it's going to take time for a guy that he came from a situation where he was the number one option to kind of falling back and getting back basically into the role that he played in Phoenix. That's an adjustment, man. That's an adjustment. Excuse me. But no one's paying attention to this guy, man. And this guy is getting busy, man. No one's paying attention to him. He's playing extremely, extremely well. And I said it last night on my show. He might be, in some ways, like a sneaky, really, really good, maybe first team all defense, right? He's not going to make all NBA, but I can see him first team all defense and finish top 3 in defensive player of the year awards on top of maybe this year being his first all-star game. I can see that for this guy right now, the way he's playing. So everybody's destroying Mikal, and I don't know why. I'm like, yo, man, he is who he is. I think he's playing well. But this guy is playing out of his mind. We didn't expect this offensively from him. But believe it or not, this is why he said he wanted to come to New York. This was one of the spots he wanted to come to because he wanted to be able to open up his, offensive skill set, and he felt he can do that here. So it goes to show that January wasn't a fluke with him because he's balling and he's taking his game to the next level, man. Shooting step back threes. Last 5 games, those are his numbers. Guys, I think people are paying attention to the wrong guy, man. But that's because of the picks we gave up. But no one's saying about how much money we paid him. How much money we paid OG Anunoby? How much he get? Let me look it up real quick. Totally forgot. OG Anunoby's contract. Give LV 1 second, man. Give me 1 second. He got 5 years, $212 million. 5 years, $212 million. And everybody was jumping out the window. You remember? I want everybody to admit, everybody was jumping out the window saying, you guys are bugging. That's too much for OG. Look what he's doing. Nah, it wasn't too much. Because you know what? Like I said before, and I'm going to say it again. There's a whole bunch of other teams that would have given that or given them more. Philly was licking their chops for the Knicks to not pull the trigger on this guy. They were licking their chops. Jeremy, 5 years, 212. Thank you, sir. So we got to really identify, you know what I mean? Like who we should be paying attention to. Mikal's going to be Mikal, man. I think he's a good ball player, man. I think he's really good. He's not a star player, but I think he's a great role player. I do. I would trade Mitch now. No way. No way. No way I would do that. Hans says the same way Rudy Gobert never going to live up to the 5. He's not. He's never going to live up to that, Hans. He's never going to live up to that. You see what Randall's doing to him now. He's punking the guy on his own team. They almost went to the finals last year with him. And Randall coming there. He didn't play in the playoffs. He coming there acting like this is his team. Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? So just he's never going to be able to live up to it, man. And they're treating him like that now. Look at Randall, man. Jeremy says the Knicks horrible bosses traded 6 first-round picks for Mikal Fultz, right? I'm totally disgusted. OG Anunoby is playing elite level both on offense and defense. Agreed. But I still do think that it was a good deal with Mikal, man. I think he's a good fit to what it is that we're trying to do. You just got to give it time to gel, man. You got to give it time to gel. Give it time, man. Give it time. Let's not jump out the window right now. It's what are we? Student math, 9-7. What's that? 16 games in, man. Here we go. I still don't like that contract, yo, my man. He's outplaying his contract. Outplaying it. Some teams you probably make $250, man. Real talk, they'll probably pay him $250. Believe it or not, but I believe OG is the missing piece in the playoffs, Garvin Felix. Garvin, check it out. Well said, sir. If we had OG Anunoby last year, we beat the Pacers. I'm going to say it again. We beat the Pacers. We were up on them 2-0. That's when he pulled the hamstring. We beat the Pacers. We probably beat him in 5, man. We probably beat him in 5 with this guy. That's how good of a player he is. And people didn't want to pay him $200 million. He was going to get that. He was going to get that any other place. If we would have had him last year, we would have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We would have lost, but we would have won. And we would have been in the Eastern Conference Finals if this guy would have pulled his hamstring. Knicks 100 GM said, every time I hit OG hit the floor, I cross my fingers. Agreed. He got to stop with that, man. He got to get better on his feet. OG's buckets are more efficient on the team. Takes what the defense gives him and makes quick decisions. Agreed. Yeah, OG is better than Mikal. He is, man. He is better, man. I mean, let's not act like, he's a better ball player. He is. Here we go. Positive reinforcement. Look at that. The Knicks will be dominant when they're at full strength. Agreed. I feel the same way as you do. But I understand that it's going to take time. It's going to take time, man. It's going to take time. You got to let it kind of marinate, man. And we're still 9-7. And I think we're fine. Look at everybody else, man. Look at Milwaukee. Look at the Sixers, man. We don't have them issues at all. Knicks 100 GM. The problem with OG is it's an automatic turnover if he dribbles 4 to 5 times. I mean, okay, cool. I mean, you gotta take your losses at times like that with that. But outside of that, he's worth every penny, man. Last year, Philly almost had. They did. They were waiting, but he didn't want to go no other place. He wanted to be with the Knicks. But Philly wanted to see what the Knicks were going to do, man. What will make you laugh? Will make you cry, LV. One injury, and the half with OG. Listen, agreed. That's always the issue with him. I understand that. Not dismissing that. But what he gives, he deserves every penny, man. Period. Because once again, Knicks 100 GM, what the Knicks gave him, another team would have did the same, if not more. And I'm not speaking of a team like Detroit. We ain't speaking of bums. I'm speaking of contenders. Contenders that need a wing like this out there. What do you think? What do you think Denver would have paid him? What do you think a team like Dallas would have paid him? Teams that are ready to win now. What do you think a team like the Heat would have paid him? The Lakers, they're trying to win now to try to get LeBron a ring before he get up out of there. What if the Lakers had him? What would they pay him? If they could afford him. He's the best 3D wing in the game, man. Period. They don't make him like him, man. And I did a short on it, too. Go check it out. They don't make him like him, man. That's why he's so expensive. Same way the Pacers had to overpay Siakam after they trade for him on his final year contract. Agreed, man. But the Siakam's not a better player than OG Anunoby, man. He's a better scorer, But he's not an overall better player than OG Anunoby. He's not. And OG Anunoby's younger. He's not a better player than OG Anunoby. He's not. But they went all in with Siakam. They had to pay that money. But I would take OG Anunoby over Siakam any day. Siakam don't play no defense, man. None. Defensive player of the year is the best award Rudy can get for his skill set. And he got a few of them. Agreed, man. Agreed. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing as a big. Dominating in that Baja. Herb Jones is tailor-made for what we do. Agreed. You know what it is? Herb Jones, number one, he's not available. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I think Herb Jones is very much what we thought Mikal Bridges would be. And I think Mikal Bridges can still be that. Like, I think he can. Right? But we gotta give him time. We gotta let it marinate here, man. We gotta let it. It's too early to just jump out the window on this guy. What Herb Jones is with New Orleans, we thought we were getting. That doesn't mean we're not still getting that. He's been in that system forever down there, so he knows his role. He knows what he's supposed to do. So it looks fluid out there with him. Mikal is still figuring out his role and figure out where he fits in all aspects, and I think he'll get that, man. Han says, I just don't think anybody messing with the Celtics, to be honest. Same exact team as last year. Yeah, the Celtics are tough, man. The Celtics are tough. I think we can give them a run for their money. I think we can. But I think their experience is going to get us in the end because they know how to win, man. That's the key. I said it on my show last night. These games like last night, the Celtics would have won last night, even if they didn't shoot well because they know how to win. You got to have that championship DNA to where you know how to win games even when you're not shooting well. Even when you're not shooting well, you're having a tough night. How do you still pull out a victory? And that's the key. And I think they have that, right? So offensively, we match up well with them. You know, I pulled up the offensive rating number. We're second in the league in offensive rating, better than the Celtics. So, you know, but it's everything. It's not just the offense, not just the defense. It's do you know how to win in key moments? Do you know how to do that? And the Knicks are still trying to figure that out. Knicks 100 says, I don't think most people realize we went against everything we believe in to gamble on Cat and OG not getting hurt. That's a huge gamble, is all I'm saying. Everything's a huge gamble. Everything. And no one knows for definite what outcomes are going to be, sir. So you got to gamble, man. It's all a risk with everything. But scared money don't make no money, man. Scared money don't make no money. So what we going to do? We're going to sit back on the bread and not try to make a move? You got to do something. And I love what the Knicks did. So now we just got to let it marinate and come to fruition, man, because I think it's close. I think we're really, really close to making things happen. We just got to be patient with that. All right, but listen, guys, listen, that's my show. All right, listen, I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me this Sunday, even with the Giants getting smoked and they're in tank season, everybody still came here to rock with LV Live. And I appreciate that. I truly, truly do. I'll be going live again tomorrow after the Nuggets game. So please come through and check it out. Once again, if you're watching this on replay, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people, right? Also, too, if it's your first time coming through, please subscribe to the channel. And also, too, please leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.